Yeah. Wait, let me check it on this though.
Check that something there real quick.
Yeah.
You know what that is, people? That's called new beginnings, people. Jeez. People, welcome back to the Millennial View podcast. I am your host, Sprint Ravers. People, it has been a very, very, very long time. I know, and forgive me, life happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have priorities to take care of, and so should you when, you know, these kind of things happen. If you have your platform, life happens. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give me my flowers for that still. You see me? I say, people, welcome back. You don't know, Sprint Ravers, they're about people. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, drop a comment below. Why? Because it is important to have that discussion with your friends. Now, see, when I came back here, I had to make sure I bring back a veteran, you know, a legend, someone who is used to this stuff, someone who is able to execute the people when it comes to their mind and awareness. People, spread it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Javon. Oh, God.
Appreciate
Yeah, I deal with, bro.
Man.
You good?
I'm straight, man. Who knew it was gonna be this many seasons in, but it's working out. It's working out for sure.
Yeah. Listen, bro. Like just in a few days, it's crazy because today's actually International Podcast Day.
What?
Today's International Podcast Day. So happy International Podcast Day to my fellow podcasters out there. I like that. You see me?
That's lit.
In a few days, it's the 2-year anniversary of the Millennial View podcast. And it's crazy because on that day, the birth of the Millennial View, for those of you that don't know, this man was my first guest.
This is consistency.
You know what I'm saying?
Consistency.
Straight consistency, yo. And we're still going at it. So, yo, what do they say? The grind never stops.
Major key.
I'm still getting used to this. See, I got new equipment here. I'm in a new studio, new setting. It's new beginnings. You know what I'm saying, people? You see? I hear my echo.
Nah,
I don't nothing to
Is that the headphones?
It's the headphones, right? Yeah. I don't nothing to But let's get to it now, people. Matter of fact, it was a couple of weeks ago. I was on Instagram and I saw a post by the Shade Room and from many other sources as well that was stating that studies show that men are more likely to be lonely based off of their experience on dating apps, right? While healthy relationships arise. I personally didn't understand that part. I don't know why that was needed to be said when I saw the post, because it's like, why wouldn't I mean, where are the healthy relationships being originated from? Are these being created in person, or are they being created on the dating app, straight off of the dating apps? You know what I'm saying? So I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts on this whole study showing that men are more likely to be lonely based off of dating apps?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it just hits a narrative that we hear a lot on the internet where, you know, we gotta like always do these gender wars, always do these sex wars, etc. Because it always comes down to like, okay, well, who's ostracized, who's it not hidden for, you know, who, right. You know, I'm hearing men are sassy now, I'm hearing, you know, women are masculine now. Like, these are all the narratives, and I feel like posts like that, statistics like that are just feeding narratives that may or may not be true. Because I see the happy relationships and I see the negative ones too. Like, for example, like, honestly, like, I know like 2 people personally who the people that they're dating right now and they're dating exclusively and it's working out, they met on a dating app. And, you know, it's a heterosexual relationship, so these men are finding people. So they don't seem lonely. You know, you know, me personally, I'm not a dating app connoisseur, but, you know, I wouldn't consider my predicament currently lonely either. And I just feel like healthy people are meeting healthy people in healthy spaces. So if you're creating that in your dating life, whether that's digital or in person, then you're going to reap the rewards of that, you know. I'm not going to lie, like, I see some people using the premium packages and all that stuff on these dating apps, and, like, let's be real, like, I'm not going, what they be saying, I'm not going to yuck your yum or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, even those people, you at least put in some type of energy, and some people will be like, oh, that's desperate or whatever, but I mean, that's just your ego
It's-
talking. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
look, the $2 it costs for that little extra premium, whatever. How much you spending on that first date anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't really make a difference. So to me, like when it comes to that whole healthy, unhealthy, like who's finding people, who not finding people, it's really just based on you and the people you trying to date and like the spaces y'all create. Like, simple as that.
I really like, oh, you said that in a brother, cause
Listen, man.
watch this. The premium stuff are, how much are they? Like, some of them be like, what, $35 for 1 month or $29.99 for 1 month. Think about it now. When you go on the first date, right? I don't care where the fuck it is that you're going. You're still spending some type of money,
That's
right?
a fact. That's a fact.
So you
I don't even look at the. I can't tell you the last bill I looked at because I don't want to see it. Like I already know we got the appetizer. We got. Of course, we grown now, so everybody wants a cocktail. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is.
Yo,
you just running it up. Like
you're spending money, extra money to make sure that you come across a woman that meets your preferences and meets your standards.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, also when you meet up with her, you're spending money regardless. Depending on, what their preferences are as a first date.
Man,
because
we spending money. Cause let's be real. If you don't spend money on that first date, it don't matter if you spent money on the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, etc. date. Y'all got married. It's going to come up again that first date you did not pay. Yeah. And it just will. Like even Denzel Washington the other day I seen he was on one of these red carpets or whatever because he does everything.
Yeah.
And his wife wasn't being like malicious or nothing, but it did come up. Like he was saying how like they split the cab back, and she kind of gave him that look like split. And I'm sure since then there's been mentions, there's been more than enough dates. But the bottom line is that first cab was not split. She definitely paid for that, and she gets to pat herself on the back for it. And again, I don't think she was coming from a malicious place, but it's just bottom line. If you're in like and I'm gonna be politically correct, it's 2022. If you're in a heteronormative, heterosexual relationship, you're spending bread as a man. You just are. Like, bottom line, and if you're not, it will come up later. Whether it's in her group chats or if it's in like whatever situation it's gonna be, and if it's in an argument, God forbid y'all have an argument, it's coming up. So yeah, you paying. Period. So
that's it. And
it is what it is.
My thing is that there shouldn't even be any complaints when it comes to you guys paying for these things because you chose to do it.
For sure.
You chose to make that jump. You made that risk.
It's a fact.
And life is risk, people. You know what I'm saying? So, if you come and say, me no want to spend no $60 upon a woman, me no want to spend no $70 upon a woman, but you want to go upon app and get premium package and pay a $35 fee.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, bro.
They trying to front the bill. That's not how that work. Like
exactly.
Trying to put a deposit down.
It's a deposit.
Yeah,
no?
the problem is people. It's too much expectations both ways. It's like, everybody kind of thinks, and like going back to the like original question, which is just like whether or not like some of these men are. I think I'm remembering the post. They were saying something like the men are not finding as many relationships because the hookup culture is kind of dead. So like going to the assumption that like men are just trying to hook up to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just, as a deeper man myself, you know what I'm saying, not just based on that physical stuff, that's not even necessarily true. And again, that goes back to, okay, what type of dating are you trying to have? Because the people who are still trying to hook up are still hooking up. And the people who are trying to take it further, go on dates, etc., are doing that. The problem is that people, again, every time they read in statistics or whatever, they're still basing off of stereotypes on men, stereotypes on women. Exactly. I know a lot of women that ain't looking for nothing right now, and I know a lot of men that are looking for something serious right now. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Deading all these narratives when it comes to the gender wars, etc., is important because you go and gender war yourself into not being in a relationship at all. You don't matter if you buy premium, if you're using the free package, if you're meeting people through friends, like it's always going to be a dub because it's always coming in like, men ain't this, N-words ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like these girls is gold diggers, etc. Like, look, I'm gonna spend something on something I like. Period. You know what I'm saying? If I haven't, and vice versa. You feel me? So, any bad dating situations you dealing with that you're still dealing with, it don't matter if you premium or not. It's low key your fault. Like, it's just at a certain point we gotta be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't help a bad date with somebody. You just first meet somebody, the link was bad, But that second date being bad is low key your fault because
Right.
you peeped the personality and you still kept going. Like, don't complain about me not spending money on you for 5 dates in a row. Maybe don't link me again. You know what I'm saying? Like
Simple.
right? Like I don't really get it. Like, or you find other people who gave up because like a lot of people now are also having this conversation. I don't know about conversations you heard, but some women that like I've heard of through people, etc., who will just be like, yo, you know, I'm getting older, so you know, if I find me somebody who's even kind of okay, I'm gonna just settle down. And it's like, well, you settling now? Like, and then you're constantly mad at him. It's like either settle or don't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to have it both ways. Like you complaining about something you are actively building with is very weird to me.
Right.
And then you wonder why you have relationship issues and now you back on dating apps. Like just be consistent about your own values. I don't see that enough in the dating culture.
Let me share a few experiences, right? Because it's funny how when you're on these apps and you're swiping on a girl, right?
Right.
You're not swiping on it, but you're checking out her profile on, statistics.
Long walks on the beach and all that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Watch this now. You have some girl who say, oh, I want a man where him have a job, him loyal, him nice and sweet. Yeah, I remember that trend there. Me want a man where loyal, nice and sweet and right, hey. Like, and it's like, okay, like you're setting all these standards and you're specifying now that you want a long-term relationship.
Right.
And then you have some man will walk in at them door and tell them, say, yo, baby, you know, say, I want to deal with you on rate. But some of the girl them don't meet them halfway.
Right.
Why is that? Is it because he's not making six figures? Is it because he's not 6'5"? Is it because he doesn't match the physical preferences? Like it's very confusing.
I mean, it's just, I mean, and this is what I'm saying, like, it just goes back to, like, people's actual values. Because I'm not even going to lie, even to that whole physical thing, like, all y'all going to look ugly eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all talking about stuff like marriage. You feel me? Marriage is until death does you part if you're serious about it and you're not just doing vows for fun. Those are the people who believe marriage is a piece of paper. I'm not talking to you. Y'all are a different breed I can't understand personally. But, you know, again, I ain't going to yuck it yum. You do what you do. Mm-hmm. But the people who take marriage seriously and like, I'm doing this before God, et cetera, and you worried about 6'5". Like, listen, I'm not worried about what's dropping when you 55 or 65. I'm not worried about, you know, any of the physical, biological issues that naturally happen. Because at the end of the day, I'm saying I'm catering to the person. I'm catering to the personality. I'm catering to the values and feelings that you have. I'm catering to the person who's gonna raise my children. And you're talking about 6'5". You know what I'm saying? Like, and
what are you gonna bring to the table? Since you want chop about 6'5" on 6-figure job on nice body.
I ain't even gonna lie, like,
what we not gonna do?
Even beyond what you bring to the table, like, I've even realized, like, as I started getting more money, I'm like, I don't even necessarily need you to bring everything to the table, but do I even want to eat with you? Like, even if I brought everything to the table, I don't even want to have a conversation with you. I don't even want to digest what I brought to the table with you. I have no problem. I will build the table, pay for somebody to get the roof over it, etc.
Right.
But some of these people are so shallow, so like, they don't have their spiritual selves together. They're not healed enough. They just, everything is like, just so skewed and everything sounds like you heard it in a rap lyric or something. Like,
right.
I'm not gonna dive into that, and I'm not gonna speak from a place like, oh, I don't have issues, or I don't have things to work on myself. But again, if we just talking about the dating situation, we're assuming we both have issues and we both have to work through things. Like, we all have baggage. If you've grown, like, you've been an adult for at least a couple of years now. I'm assuming some things have happened that you had to work through and I had to work through. But even if I bring the table, and this is what I'm saying, like, as I started getting more money, right, I'm not even really worried about the bill, whatever, fine. But I'm sitting here with you, and I brought everything, and we talk, you know, because everything's already taken care of. So all you have to do is be a good person. They falling short of that. They can't even match you on that level. Or the worst one, they'll say, oh, compared to the people I've met, you're so great. Listen, I'm not trying to be the best person you've ever met. Like, apparently the bar is in hell, so I'm not comparing myself to the people in hell.
This is not a competition.
It's not that type of competition.
All the man that treat you in our past, bro.
Right. Unless you need me to give you a hug while you telling me some story, I don't want to hear it in terms of why you like me. Like, if you like me, we should be just talking about us. You talking
exactly.
about
Live in the moment, bro.
We're over here comparing like Poland Spring to Dasani. Like, I don't have I don't have time for this conversation. If I thought that I was as bad as these people, I wouldn't even be out here to begin with. So I don't need, and that's the problem I'm saying. Like going back to like dating app culture, going back to this relationship culture, everybody's just trying to like find the best thing that they've ever met when they're used to dealing with trash, and then realizing they settled later on, and then you complaining in your group chats. You rapping these Summer Walker lyrics extra hard.
Yeah.
You dragging your man who thought he was cool, and then apparently he's not because he's not meeting your standards, but you acted like you had certain standards in the beginning, then turned it up at the end. Like, I seen all this stuff, and again, it goes back to accountability and just creating healthy relationships, healthy boundaries, etc. Like, it's just whack what people are doing in that regard. And again, going back to your friends that are bitter too, and even friends that are in relationships, are they in happy relationships? Like, no, most of them are not.
And that's why, they freaking, what they be doing? They be telling the girl, like, oh, you should leave that nigga. Leave that nigga. Yo, bro, you should leave that bitch, bro.
Facts.
Because, Because you guys aren't happy in your relationship, or you fail another talking stage.
And that's another thing, too. People sleep on the talking stage. It's because y'all are so ready to get into relationships from one door being held open or one bill being paid or one appetizer being bought is how you end up settling down with trash, like pure basura. And it's because y'all are just like, it's like y'all care more about getting into a relationship than y'all do about cultivating a happy one. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these be the same ones, like, realistically, we learn from young, like, yo, you plant a seed, you gotta let that thing grow. People are just like, oh, I want the fruits of it right now. You don't even know what it looks like. Like,
you don't, bro.
A girl could date me right now, right? It's fall right now. I have allergies. You don't know what I'm like in the spring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you finding out later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even just that, like something simple as that, but I'm talking about even character, because people like to put on these dating apps. You know what I'm saying? Your Instagrams and all that. You flexing or whatever. It's only 4 to 5 months in, you realize that private jet dude had is not his. That's his man's. He just kept it for a season. He was babysitting it while his man was in Ibiza. And it's
to impress you.
Right, to impress you. But now you stuck because you in a relationship now, because you got in a date with somebody, you tied down.
Now you can put it on your bio. Oh, Jay with the ring next to it.
It's whack.
10/18/2022.
That's your life now.
That's
your brand now.
Who the fuck, yo?
Spooky.
And this is the problem. No one wants to build a foundation.
Facts.
Nobody wants to build a foundation. All they want to worry about is the fact that they are in a relationship and now they can mimic images that they see on social media.
And that's all it is.
Yeah, and people that they're in a relationship,
that's
you know.
It is. They talking about breaking generational curses, but you window shopping for relationships. It's just
exactly.
I don't understand why you think these shallow bases are gonna like take you anywhere. And I mean that's to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I remember being young and feeling like that, but I feel like all these people are like, oh, I'm 25, I'm 26, and I'm you know 30 is coming, and it's like you're not moving with any level of maturity. Like, you haven't learned from your past mistakes, not enough to actually do better consistently. Like, it'd be really whack. Like, I be hearing people say like, oh, like, the man has to love me more, or like, I'll be damned if I'm with somebody who like is like, oh, I know you love me way more than I love you. Like, shit. So
you can sit there and half-ass?
Right.
That's what it's.
But it goes back to
to
being the prize. Right. The whole prize culture. Like, who's the prize? The prize is the love we cultivate. The prize is not you. The prize is not me. Because you could be whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't really matter. Like, the best have gotten cheated on, and some of the worst have not. So in between is, okay, who cultivated the proper relationship? Right. And those are the people that are happy. Those are the ones that aren't posted as much. Those are the ones that we don't speak as highly on. Everybody's all like, oh, I can't find nobody, and I don't really know where to meet anybody. It's like, yo, just do better. Like, there's so many ways to do better, and I think that's where the real issue comes in. I think people know they could do better, but they just don't, and that's where the frustration comes in. Right. I don't know. It's kind of funny to see, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Them no one put in the work, bro. Like,
nah, exactly.
Because
they're tired.
Because them tired.
Or they put in the work with the trash person they met when they were a freshman in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't even of drinking age yet. That was so long ago. But it's like you holding on to that version of you. Like,
exactly.
In every other aspect of your life, you can move up. You got new wigs now. You got like new clothes now. You got a new crib now. You going on new vacations. You might look a little different. You put on, you know, you losing weight, gaining weight, etc. But the one thing that you holding on to is this old version of yourself that had a long relationship with the bum. Like,
right.
If you in a new position now, if you single now, then like act on that. But I just feel like ultimately a lot of y'all are not acting on the fact that y'all have today and tomorrow to do something new. Like, there's people who are either retired and like, I ain't dating again seriously for like 3, 4, 5 years. And it's like, all right, we'll see who's around then.
Right.
And then you have the people who are like, I've been on like 5 dates this year and none of them worked out. Everybody's trash. Like,
are they though?
And then if your whole group chat is having trash relationships, stop asking each other for advice. Like, stop. Because that's what they'll say. They'll be like, it's not just me. It's my friends too. It's my friends' friends. I'm not calling anybody a bird, but the way the analogy goes, it's birds of a feather flock together. So y'all are all creating a certain narrative in your own chats, and then it's like y'all are bringing that to y'all relationships, and then coming back to the chat to talk about it. What do y'all expect to happen? It's math. I don't know.
The thing is that, like, when it comes to these things, they just feel like everything's going to be handed to them on a silver platter because they have pretty privilege.
Word.
Our blood clot, them have career privilege as well. Oh, me make whole heap of money, so therefore me feel like any woman or any man can gravitate towards me now.
I ain't never
like, what
I
the
be
fuck?
asking people what they do eventually, but that's just because I should be aware of it, not because I'm really looking. Like, but I'll even say like men be moving the same way. Like the ones that even have a little bit of bread or like pretend to, you know, I still know dudes who like still like do all types of things to get bread or whatever, and it's like ultimately you get it. You think you throwing some money and somebody owes you something. These women don't owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, it goes back to the relationship itself. Like, it's not about, oh, you spent money on me, or like, oh, you know, I decided to even pull up and I'm pretty and da-da-da. Like, it's really just like, yo, what type of relationship are we trying to cultivate? And we do that or don't do it. And if you have bread, that's great. We need that. But if you don't, all right, cool. Do I even like you? And that's what I'm saying. Back to what I said earlier. I could bring the table, bring the food, bring the utensils, bring the chef, and pay for all of it, and I still might not like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I still might not like you. Like,
oh my God.
It don't make a difference. So once you realize you pull back all these other layers, you realize like all that's left is who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people didn't learn that through COVID. I don't know. Because like, to me, that was a pressure cooker for relationships.
No, Moan said this, no, right? Moan talk about authenticity when it comes to dating, right? Because it's always the same story that's written in these books over and over again when it comes to first dates and, you know, other dates and other link-ups. Why is the first date always a dinner date? Why is that? Because really and truly, there's no foundation being built when you're just sitting across from your date and then y'all are just eating and you're just people watching. To me, that conversation feels forced.
Word.
Conversation feels forced when you're sitting at a dinner table and you're across from the person and it's like, I don't even know what to talk about next. Because you see one family I make whole heap of noise and you see some girl.
Then you got
over
them
there,
people who pull up hungry as all hell and they just eat the whole time.
You know what I'm saying? That too.
You know, I'm having no conversation like, damn, the steak that good? Like, all
right.
Cool.
And it's like there's no connection being created at all because of the constant awkwardness that's surrounding in the atmosphere, yo.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I'm an activity guy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to first date, I like go to the park, I like hike. Don't get any ideas. But
they about to steal everything.
Yeah, don't get any ideas.
Everything.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, or they're gonna be like, oh, pick me. Like, if you are true to your dinner dates as your first dates, then stick to that.
I'm saying. That Red Lobster biscuit ain't going nowhere.
You see me?
Ain't no problem.
But yeah, like, you know, parks, hikes, arcades, you know, bike riding, whatever. Because there's a foundation being built, yo.
Word.
There's a foundation.
But I'll say that too, even back to the authenticity thing that you were talking about. Like, it just shows that a lack of conversations people even have before that first date. Because for me, like, it sounds real basic, but like, not knowing the person's like, you know, favorite color, what type of flowers you like what your interests are, like, You know, I find out a girl likes art or something, you know, we might do some pottery thing or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I find out somebody like, or even like, sometimes I like being active too, but you find out somebody, that's how you find out somebody's like story about how they hurt their ankle or something like that. Now I'm not going to surprise take you hiking because like your foot don't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't know the basic things about you, even like down to your food allergies. Like what places am I taking you? That's the first time I'm asking if we're going before dinner. Do you have any allergies? And I find like most people don't even have that conversation. And it's again like, y'all not doing the back work because it's like, we got to do everything now. Like, whether you're looking for love, you're like, okay, let's start. If you're looking for, like, just something physical, okay, let's start. And it's like, do the background work so by the time y'all actually link.
Physical, she want tickle my balls.
Listen. whatever it is, if you somebody who just, you get off to massages, whatever it is, like, you should know that beforehand. Like, everything, what I find is people just having these generic conversations and then bringing them generic conversations back to their group chats, back to social media. And then we end up like statistics that you start with where, you know, because men want quick things, you know, they're not having healthy relationships. Like, is cap. It's not true.
Wrong.
It's false.
Wrong.
That's
yeah,
because and we're representatives of the people that can tell you in person, like, that's false.
Because really and truly, again, like, it comes back to women not meeting us halfway. You know what I'm saying? Because they're busy generalizing that, oh, it's a tradition for all men to want just quick things. So I'm just going to dismiss him right away and just put him in the archives. No, not the archives, the recycle bin, and delete the trash.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just weird. Like, and again, like, it's always going to go both ways in terms of, like, issues and things of that nature. But again, it goes back to, like, okay, what is the solution at the end of the day? Because that's all everything is based on. Like, everybody want to give you statistics. Everybody want to bash the other gender. But ultimately, what are we left with? Like, how do we do anything if you coming in like, well, men are this? You haven't even met me, but men are this. Or like, that's like me coming to you and assuming. Can you imagine me going to a woman, a thing to do when people of color now? I go to a woman of color, I assume I assume they're wearing a wig, or I assume they're wearing like braids because I met a lot of women who wear wigs and braids, and you know, if they dye their hair red, they're going through something, or you know what I mean? Like, if we keep using all these stereotypes before we even link somebody, it's like, well, of course you single and bitter and sad. Like, you know, I know people who are single and happy and they don't do the stereotype nonsense. They're just healing themselves, or they, you know, fixing themselves. So by the time they do that first date again, they'll be good. But most people aren't doing that. Y'all just serial dating while being serial hurt and then going back with your friends having a wine night about it. Like, if that's how y'all bond, you know, do you? I'm just saying, if we talking about relationships, if we talking about love, if we talking about longevity, that's not how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's really not how you
It's not how you do it. It's not how you do it. Well, that's not how I do it. Maybe that's how you do it, and if it works.
Oh, my God.
Listen, do you? But I haven't seen good results from that. And even the ones that end up in relationships off of that, the guys, you know, talking to his group chat like, yo, she's doing this again. And that's another thing. I feel like girls don't realize, like, men talk about this relationship stuff too. Like the ones that actually care about it, like the men are in their chats, like, yo, even the ones that, like, some of them are in relationships and they want to be in a relationship and they want to take care of their girl. They're like, she's always whining about something, or she's, you know, not listening to me, or she's not supporting me, whatever. But on one end is because she's moving funny off of that nonsense I was talking earlier. But on the other end is some of us men, we be taking it to the chin, like we ego driven and stuff, and we're like, we're not gonna complain, you know, we just gonna take care of it, whatever. But
I'm gonna be a man about it.
But it builds bitterness on both sides.
Exactly.
But then the man starts acting out, or the girl starts acting out, and everybody like mad at the cheating or the infidelity or the argument, but we not focusing on the source of it, which is why you never solve nothing. And like, again, if we trying to solve things, we gotta like go like back to, again, what are your values? What are your interests? Like, why do you like me? Why do I like you? It's just because of the bread. Like, please, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, even going on like dates in general, like, I don't even really be calling them dates because I'm linking you, and I don't even know if I really like you for real because we haven't done this physical chemistry like in person type thing. Like, does your breath smell? You got your hygiene right? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't smell her breath through the filter. You feel me? Like, I don't even. I be seeing certain things in person. You like, okay. Or like even dudes lying on their profile about how tall or small they are, etc. It's like, come on, son. You have to stand up eventually.
I want to trace back to something that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned men are portrayed as sassy and women that are portrayed as masculine.
Word.
It's funny because I was having a conversation with someone this morning and she was telling me there's men that be acting like bitches. What exactly do they mean by that? How do men act like bitches?
So I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I actually side with the women on this for the most part, just based on what I hear. And the reason for that is, it's not really they act like that. It's really that they're not moving masculine enough for the woman. Because what happens is, a lot of people, they come from whatever households they're coming from. Everybody across the board, no matter the ethnicity, is always talking about generational curses. So I think, and especially if you're from the city where it get gritty, you had to form a certain level of independence, a certain grit, a certain toughness to you.
Right.
Especially if you're a woman, a lot of times they're the most targeted, the most disrespected, etc.
Yeah.
So they had to boss up a lot. So you got a lot of masculine women out here, and not literally masculine as like their true selves, but that's the mask they put on to go into the world. So when they saying, men are acting feminine, they're acting sassy, they just mean you not moving manly enough for me to feel comfortable enough to be a woman again. But the problem is everybody's so angry and they all on this social media rhetoric. They're not telling you, yo, if you do this, I'm going to be able to feel softer. I'm going to be able to feel more comfortable. They're saying, oh, well, you acting like this and money bag, yo, already got shorty a car. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets into this whole thing where we still haven't made you softer. We still haven't made you more comfortable, but you made us uncomfortable. You made us feel trash. You made us feel like, we moving like women, and now you out here looking for a girl that feels like you a man again, and now you leaving your relationship and acting all funny and stuff like that. And again, going back to what you said, I get where they're coming from, and I feel like the only problem I have with women on that point is y'all delivery is trash. Like, y'all are moving with like the worst politics in the world, because at the end of the day, you don't even really want to bash me as much as you want me to take care of you, but you're not saying that. I don't know if it's because of ego. I don't know, because you're too mad to see through the words to say it. And on the other side, we men, like, because of the ego thing and we're so ego driven, we're not even listening to even hear, like, first off, she over here crying at like 1 a.m. instead of sleeping, going anywhere else, being with any other man, going back home to their parents. Right. She's still fighting for something in this moment, and I'm not addressing it.
Exactly.
And then trying to figure out what that is. But now we hot and we mad. So now you got two mad people. Yeah. And maybe they do the most nonsensical things to try to make up, but the problem's gonna come up again. You feel me? So on that point, I agree with where they're coming from. Right. But the delivery is piss poor. It's so bad. And you will stay single off of that. Like, I promise.
Major key. Major key.
For sure.
Major key.
All right, listen. My thing is, everyone, we're human. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna express ourselves in many ways. You know what I'm saying? Might not be the best expressions, but at the end of the day, we're human. So, ladies, you can't bash men for being human. Men, you cannot bash ladies for being human. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it does matter about delivery as well, because delivery, the way you guys deliver, it definitely plays a role. Cause boy, I've seen some, not me personally, but like from stories that I've heard, like the deliveries that are given to each party, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not talking to me like that. That's
not
really what you mean.
You're not talking to me like that, fam. Like, man, I tell you, boy.
For sure.
Some y'all feel like say them can't bad me up. You mad?
Bruh.
Yo, I'm gonna have fun with this.
No, clearly.
I'm gonna have fun with this. So listen, you're gonna see me do this a lot. Oh, it's not working out. Oh, cause I gotta put my own sounds though. My own sounds have to come.
Hey man, you on a different.
Hey, I remember my sounds too. The Windows era and the cartel and everything. You see me? But soon reach. Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah, but let me ask you this now, right? So back to the dating apps thing now, right? We mentioned the premium packages, the unlimited likes and the rewinds, and set the preferences to, I want a girl that don't smoke. I want a girl that have no kids.
Man, these are not values. You feel me? Like,
they're not, exactly.
These are not values.
They're not.
Even if you don't want people with kids, these are not like. I still don't even know if you pray. Like no one like these are not yo, crazy.
They're not values, though. Yeah. So do you feel like dating apps are a scam as a whole?
So to me, and this is like just a general hot take. Like, I think every app is a dating app, low key. Like we be presenting ourselves on everything. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Instagram's
I was about to say, for real.
Yeah.
I ain't never had to use no Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, whatever else they using.
Bumble,
I'm over
whatever
here
you said,
on
Bumble,
IG.
like
you
B.
feel me? I'm on Instagram, and I don't mean like in terms of like I ain't on Instagram looking for people, right? But what I'm talking about is, and this applies to all dating apps and just dating in general. If you on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is that you still using, it's about that organic energy. So over time, people gonna peep you. You feel me? Like if you really real, if you really raw, if you about anything that you saying, like ain't nobody follow me for a year and don't know. Oh, he be saying whatever he be saying. Or like you getting little glimpses of the face here and there, whatever. Cool. Like you see me do a little charity work, whatever. Like they're just more. At least me personally, I want to put you in predicaments where we get to see each other over time and see if we even vibe for real. Cause like you know we already been to college. We did the whole quick dating culture, whatever. Fine, like for real, I'm here for the slow burn, that slow cook before Thanksgiving. You feel me? Like I ain't really trying to. So when it comes to dating as being a scam or not, I'm saying no, but at the same time, this is your profile. It's like, but it's not like Instagram where I can peep some from your tagged photos from like 3 years ago. I'm like, wait, you was in the military? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like dating apps is like, oh, well, like, look at me. I'm on the yacht. Look at me. Like, this is this. And what I'm saying about dating apps versus like the gram or just in general when it comes to scam, the scam is the mentality you have going into it. The scam is thinking like, oh, this snapshot is the person. Right. Or like, even if you genuinely know, like, obviously the snapshot's not the person, you're assuming they're just going to be, all of their characteristics are going to be related to someone who owns a boat. Right. Someone who be on beaches. Someone who wears shades to fashion show. And it's like, versus like Instagram where I'm getting to see you on a bum day. I'm going to see you when you out at homecoming. I'm going to see you on different aspects. So like the scam is you thinking like, oh, well, I done swiped you swipe me. This should go well as long as you put your money in. And, you know, I think you cute. And, you know, and vice versa. Like, oh, if she a baddie and like, you know, she don't seem like a gold digger. Like, again, these are not values. Like, so the problem I'm trying to say is the dating apps are fine. But the point is, if you're not trying to seek values in the individual before y'all link up for that first date, or, you know, let me add you on whatever to see what's going on, it's like, well, what do you expect? Like, it can go well. Yeah. But when it doesn't, like, did you do any research whatsoever to be like, oh, nah, bet? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you, let's, and all these people who are talking about, oh, I want relationships for life, right? Let's life partner. Right. Let's talk about a house. Life partner. If you about to buy a house, you know, they got 30-year mortgages, 40-year mortgages. If we talking about marriage, that's the rest of your life, 40, 50, 60 plus. There ain't no 10-year mortgage on that. You know what I'm saying? So you over here talking about, oh, I want a relationship after you knew this dude for like a week, a month, or you knew this girl for like a week, a month, 2 months, etc. Right. But then you like, oh, well, this person isn't what I thought they were. How did you form an opinion before y'all even talked about anything? Y'all haven't even been around each other that much. Like, all you have is these little quick snapshots of their little dating profile, the little texting y'all did, the little, I don't know, little snapshots or whatever, little selfies you send, little FaceTime call. Like, don't expect to know this whole person. And this goes back to like, the talking stage is cool. Yeah. Dating casually, non-exclusively is cool because you get to not feel trapped with an individual, but you're going to interact with the person you like the most, period. Exactly. We've all been on dates with like somebody else and been thinking about somebody else. Right. And that's a great... Yo, not wicked enough? Listen, it's not... I'm going to tell you why it's not wicked. I'm going to tell you why it's not wicked. Because it's... Yo, at the end of the day, it's nothing on the person I'm dealing with. She could be great. You know what I'm saying? Like... Actually, I'm not even going to say that because I was going to mention celebrities, which one I prefer over the other, but I don't need nobody's hive or nobody's whatever to come after me. So, fuck, yo, in general. Say what you got to say, bro. Because you know them people, y'all them. Nah, but I was going to say, like, yo, at the end of the day, like, yo, if I prefer one person over the other, that's just what it is. Like, if I prefer Beyonce over Rihanna or Rihanna over Beyonce, right? That's just what it is. I might be listening to Rihanna's song like, yo, Beyonce had a better one. Or I might listen to Beyonce and be like, Rihanna had a better one. I'm not wrong for that. What I'm doing is, I'm testing my theory constantly because we're talking about being with each other for the rest of our lives. Versus. If I'm thinking about someone else when I'm with you, all that did was let me know, yo, I should be with this other person. And every time I have that interaction, that's not true. All it's doing is pushing me to that person and cultivating with that more. So dating casually, figuring out what I like, what I don't like, etc. Allow that to happen. People putting all this pressure on you talking about, oh, well, you know, I'm running out of eggs, or like, you know, men like, you know, I'm running out of money. What we doing? What's next? It's like, okay when you know rush things are gonna have rush results. So when that thing undercooked, I mean, hey, you gotta eat it.
Undercook and then you start get sick.
Nah,
bro.
facts.
You see me?
Facts. Salmonella.
Me not gonna lie, no people.
Problems.
Me not gonna lie, no people. Like dating casually is actually a thing. And you cannot judge people for taking part in those practices. You know what I'm saying? If them are gonna do that, them are gonna do that. Uno can't sit down and put all your eggs in one basket and expect, you know, reciprocation from that party there. You see me? There's always gonna be people with different perspective from you.
Facts.
And that is why it is important for uno to get to know each other.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Uno can't just look upon the person visually and, you know, feel like, say, you're there in a la la land because, he's so fly.
Goofy.
She's so...
Goofy.
You see me? Like,
that's goofy.
you guys got to do better than that, to be honest. Nah, gonna lie to you.
And then it's
See
like
me?
you end up, the people who like to date exclusively, right? They're like, oh, I just want to build. I just want to build something with
Them
somebody.
one bill, right?
Yo,
Yeah.
you don't even know if the structure is rocky. Back to that house example, your whole thing will sink because the foundation
Right.
wasn't together.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know that because you never really tested the waters. You never tested the ground. You never like saw other houses. You're just like, oh, I saw some land. Let me go
Yeah.
build it. And it's like, all right, cool. When it all falls down and you end up heartbroken at the end,
Kanye West.
You end up word
Yeah,
facts.
yeah.
When it all falls down, who you gonna call now? Like
Right.
facts. And actually to that point, you can't call nobody else. Why? Because you wasn't dating casually.
Exactly.
So really, when
See
it falls
that?
down, who are you gonna call now? Nobody.
That
You're
song
sick.
aged very well, by the way.
No, for
Big
sure.
up Kanye West. Big
sure.
up the millennials as well, because, you know, that was our era in our hip hop.
That's still in my 2022 replays. I don't give a damn.
See
I'm
that?
still listening
Exactly.
to
That song has longevity for
sure.
sure. See that was for sure. CM time. You see me? But Javon, big up yourself, CM way. You don't know all the
For
things
sure.
already. Yo, this mic is fucking keep falling, yo. No. Might switch out that one there over the next time. I don't know. But yes, people, Millennial View is back and better than ever, people.
Sure.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remind the people where they can find you on social media.
You just go _profound on Instagram. I'ma see y'all. You know, it's private, but you know, I follow whatever. I accept my things. You know, I check it every week or whatever. So
You see me?
follow
That's
that.
it.
Follow that.
Right. Yes, people. And I am now on TikTok, so I will be posting more updated shorts of episodes that I record with my guests. So if you would like to follow my TikTok, it is sprint_ravers. I don't know all the thing already with IG. Sprint Specialist 2 underscores afterwards. And for more information on the podcast, be sure to follow the Millennial View _ at the end on IG. People, this is a new season, a new beginning. We have sounds on everything, also kind of official,
It's
you
going
know.
crazy. It's going crazy.
Sprint Ravers alongside Javon, people. Wow. A long time when I hear them something there. Wow.